Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Unadulterated Amateurs Podcast. I'm Chuck Beeson. That weird guy over here is Joel Norton.
Weird?
Yeah. You saying you're not?
That's a lot coming from you.
Oh, here we go. This is how we're starting this one out.
Yeah, we already started off rough. Like Chuck, every week he brings his bubbly waters.
Yep. Yes, I do.
To spoil me, because I haven't been drinking caffeine since. Was it February? Did we ever decide when that was? It was one of the early podcasts that I had.
I'm gonna go mid to late February.
Yeah, it was like really high blood pressure, so I don't drink caffeine. And to kind of help knock that down, I was trying to eat healthier. But you were bringing those bubbly waters because we both enjoy those.
Yep.
And they're cheap too.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, you still have one in the fridge here. Which, to be fair, there was one in the fridge for a while.
Yeah.
And at one point, don't know when, but apparently I drank it.
And he filled it with tap water.
And I filled it with tap water. So Chuck was in for a surprise when he cracked it open. First of all, how did you not realize the thing was broke?
I don't use my brain most of the time.
Okay.
In fairness.
That's fair.
I just trust my
you
friends
threw
not
me
to mess with me.
I didn't do it on purpose. Trust me. I don't remember even doing it. That's the worst part. I'm like, I got to know what was in there. And he's like, this is tap water. I was like, oh, it's flat? No, it's tap water.
Yeah.
I was like, it's tap water. Like, flat? No, it's tap water. I was like, oh.
It's straight up tap water, bud.
Oops. So?
This isn't sparkly.
All right. Get to spoil Chuck with some liquid death that's giving away our green screen. Damn it. You guys know now. Now my bookshelf's actually over there. And I took a picture of it and we used it as background because we lazy. We lazy.
Oh, I love this. Hold on. Let's get rid of Joel real quick. There he goes.
You can see all the knowledge in my head. Look at this. Oh, look at all those knowledge, all those books I've read. Okay, enough messing with the green screen. How was your week, bud?
My week has been tiring, exhausting. I got a lot of stuff done, did a lot of working, and a lot of work, little play.
And a little spicy.
And a lot of spicy.
You guys will see that Saturday.
It's painful,
but funny to watch.
And I haven't been the same since, so enjoy that.
I don't want to overhype it, yeah, but Chuck's a bitch. Just kidding. No, I probably would have been hurting too.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad, dude. But I will say I'm here. I made it through it. I did not get hurt. No humans were harmed during the filming of this production.
That's good. This production, but that one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that'll drop Saturday, so they can drop some comments in there and have fun.
Oh yeah, our Patreon can have a lot of fun with that one.
They're gonna have a blast with that. Yes, they will. My week has been odd.
Yeah,
because I was like, I missed a day or two last week because of being in contact with COVID with Freya. So I had to go get tested before I go back to work. Then I worked tens all weekend. And then Freya got sick again, but not COVID.
Oh, jeez.
That happened yesterday. That was a little rough.
That'll make for a long one.
That poor girl. She legitimately had a cold two and a half weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. She had a cold. And then a week later, she got COVID. And then she had that little, I guess, a stomach bug.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
That's wild.
I'm pretty sure it was yogurt.
Yeah.
She had to learn the hard way. She had yogurt cups, and we sent to her with school. And I guess she didn't put it in the refrigerated area, or she didn't eat it right away. I don't really know exactly.
So you're talking warm yogurt?
Warm yogurt. She had it in there all day. Brought it home, ate it. God damn kids! Let me tell you what. Stressing me out. I got the heebie-jeebies since she told me that. I was like,
there.
You ate warm yogurt before, bro?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I've eaten a lot of things that I shouldn't eat. You know this.
Yeah, I don't know how you're alive sometimes.
Yeah, me neither.
One day we're just gonna have Chuck Eats Everything special, and you can just list all of the terrible shit you've had, and we'll lead up. And cardboard's not the worst of it, folks.
I know the top 2.
Is that one up there? You say
The one you're thinking of?
the one where I bet you $5?
Oh yeah.
I still can't believe you did that. That was so gross.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's number 1.
It was like a circle piece of cardboard, and it was like probably that thick.
No,
right?
that one's probably number like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay, that's not the one.
No.
You're talking about the oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that one. I was actually
Okay.
the one encouraging you not to do that
Yeah, well.
at the time. And then you did it.
Yeah. The worst part is,
God damn it.
didn't hurt me none.
How?
I don't know.
How? Bro. Did you even get sick after it?
No.
Dude, you're ate up. It was like hydraulic oil
Yep.
and like metal.
Yeah. Metal shavings.
Metal shavings. Dude. You stressed me out just thinking about it.
That's the worst one.
That was the worst one. The funniest one though was like you're like, cardboard ain't nothing. And I was like $5 to eat this right here. It was like a circle. It was like that thick. And lo and behold, you're like halfway through this thing. I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? And you're like, easy money. And then our lead walks up, our boss, and he's like, hey, dumbass, that's 2 pieces of cardboard glued together and you're eating it. We just both look at the cardboard and it is glued together. It was like he's eating an Oreo of cardboard and glue. And he's like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And I felt bad, and I still gave you some money for it. And I was like, yeah, that's disgusting. That's bad.
That bound me up a little bit, but
It was like one of those things where you're like, you make a bet.
Yeah.
You're like, you won't do that. And then they do it, and you're like, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? Don't do that. It was $5. I wouldn't do that for $100.
dude, like standing in front of the fans.
That was funny. Dude, you remember how many people we got with that?
Oh yeah.
Basically, our fans at where we work together were like filthy.
Oh, always.
Filthy.
Like never got to clean out.
Within a day, you hit it, and it was like working a coal mine. It would just come flying out. And so we'd like purposely, this is when you're young and stupid.
Purposely walk somebody near it and then hit it.
Yeah. Or get each other with it.
Yep.
So they're not paying attention. You hit it.
Constantly.
Basically, it's 8 hours a day at a factory, if not more.
Yeah.
If not more.
8 to 12.
8 to 12 at a factory, and you come up with stupid things to do. I would never do that now. Though, that would be fun.
If it was towards the end of the shift, I still would.
See, I'd be so mad. My days of being covered in that shit, I'm done.
I mean, there's a shower. I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's the breathing it in aspect.
Yeah. That's the
But
thing.
to be
But
fair,
we were doing
people
that
are like-
anyway.
People were like, why would you do that to somebody? And then meanwhile, we had oil that was blowing in.
Yeah.
How many times do we have to go to safety?
Well,
You were my hero.
Went 4 times.
You were my hero, by the way.
Why?
With that, because you always were like, I'll go to the safety person. You
Yeah.
took the pictures, and then I backed you up when I got back there.
Yep.
Because you get the GM and everybody out there, and they're all pissed off, and I'm like, yeah, and then I get all heated. Oh, let's roll, baby.
It was easy for me.
Yeah.
All I had to do was walk up there and be like, hey, this is a problem. Here's pictures. Yeah, you need to shut that thing down. Yeah, my bosses won't.
Yeah, the leads won't do it. They won't shut it down, and we're breathing it in.
Yeah.
Remember they made us like wrap rags around our head, and then
and
put glasses on.
Oh yeah.
And the glasses, you couldn't see the parts because they were fogging up.
Yep. Immediately,
Dude.
they wound up getting us those big circular masks.
Yeah. And then I'd be like, as soon as someone comes over, we had to time it because our leads, so they wouldn't know. Our lead would come to break you out.
Yep.
And I'm like, go. So then you came back. You're like, I told them. And then 5 minutes later, here they come. Everybody, GM, safety. And then I'm pissed off. I'm like, I got it from here, bud.
Yeah, I skipped my break for that.
Yeah,
and then
you did.
as soon as it got
Respect.
shut down, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, no joke. And then my favorite was when they like fixed it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it was a rag stuck in there.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. 2 weeks later.
You fucking lying bitch.
2 weeks later, just down there.
Dude.
Same thing.
Infuriating. I'm glad that thing's well
Memories,
gone.
though.
Well gone. I'm in the same spot, but no none of that ugliness. I don't even know who that is.
That's my cousin.
Is he building an ark?
No. Hey, Noah. Hey, buddy.
Chuck does not know how to use this.
I'm filming my podcast, buddy.
Hey, Deadpool 3 just got announced.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
They started filming on that a while ago.
And Hugh
week or two
Jackman
ago.
just got, they just said Hugh Jackman's going to be in it.
oh, that's big.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing. What am I gonna tell? Oh,
Hey,
I'm getting
bud.
a challenger.
Hey,
I'm getting a
hey, bud. I'm filming the podcast right now, just so you know. So don't say anything stupid.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
And you're on
Thank
it.
you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye.
He said I can't say anything not stupid, so I'm gonna hang up. He's like, well, shit, you just cut out my whole vocabulary, so I'm done.
He's not that bad. He's a good kid.
No, that's what I said. I'm
Usually.
like, I can't talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he
you're
was, he was
sitting
like,
here.
He was like, nah, I'm out. As soon as you said that, that's what was funny about it. So I'm done.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was trying to say there, but I wanted to make sure it was
Oh yeah,
not something silly. He's a silly boy.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
What were we even talking about?
I don't know. Got interrupted with a phone call.
Yeah, he still doesn't learn how to use airplane mode. How many times have I bitched at you about this? It's like vibrating nonstop half our podcast normally. I feel like you do it for OCD. You know what? Keep it up, Chuck. Keep it up. All these numbers are going to be fucking off.
Oh.
All these numbers. We're going to be at 42,
That sound would be back on.
43.
That sound would be on in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
The only time my phone sounds not on is when I'm here.
Next time you get a phone call, I'm going to go right down here and I'm gonna be like, hey, Chuck, look at this. And I'm going to hit the volume. I'm going to put it right to 42.
Oh, you're going to drive me nuts.
I know. But it's not there now. Hopefully. Should we look?
Yeah. Oh, look
See?
at you.
Crispy even, just for you. And then look what you're doing to me.
Torturing you.
How fucking dare you? You have bad podcast etiquette.
Oh.
You know how many times I've seen people get yelled at on podcasts for that? For real?
For what? Answering phones?
Like the host is like talking and then they're like looking at their phone or they're on it. And they're like, hey, get the fuck off the phone. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like,
I'm rarely on the phone.
But like they don't know that. That's what it's like. They don't know these people very well. So
Yeah.
it's like I could never do that. In my Midwestern, like you, I'm tell you, I'm like, hey, turn the fucking thing on. What are you doing?
Yeah, 100%.
And just like joke around, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you wouldn't take it negatively at all because
No.
you know that I'm not. But like a random person, can you imagine that? You're like, hey, turn that shit off now. What the fuck are you doing? Mm-hmm. We're in the middle of a podcast. And you're
Oh,
like,
what are you doing?
I just met you.
I just met you, and this is crazy, but you're a rude son of a bitch.
Call me maybe.
Hey, good song.
Yeah, you just read the lyrics to it.
I know I did.
I just heard that yesterday.
Did you really?
I added it to my favorites list. When the song is a jam, I don't give a shit.
It is.
It is. It's like one of those songs that I'll randomly hear, and I'm like, oh, this is a vibe. And I'll
Good old
listen to, like,
Carly Rae Jepsen.
yeah, I'll listen to it like 10 times and then take it out. No, you know what's funny? They wanted her at Riot Fest. The people,
Really?
the community wanted her at Riot Fest because every year they do one person that's like a joke to have there, and then
Yeah.
they like just have a blast there.
Yeah.
So like they want her. Last year was who was it last year? But they always do a joke, like a joke person.
Yeah.
That wouldn't fit that whole thing at all.
Yeah, 100%.
They thought this year was gonna be Alanis Morissette.
That'd have been sick.
It would have been fucking awesome. I would have loved to see Alanis Morissette.
Oh, dude.
Loved to see that.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah. And I mean, you know how that whole vibe of that shit thing is anyways. It doesn't matter like what
No,
genre. It's like
absolutely
you're just
not.
going to have fun with it. But yeah, they wanted her to do it on a small side stage and just people were calling for pits. But last year they did Devo, which is borderline. They had some punk roots, I
Okay.
think. Crack That Whip.
Not sure.
You know who fucking Devo is, bud.
Probably.
They wore the red weird hats from the 60s or 70s.
I don't remember.
Oh my god! All right, you just pressed me. It's definitely not mosh pitting music, but they were coming together as a community
To mosh pit
to
to
make
it?
sure there was a pit to it, just for fun.
Yeah. Why not?
Yes.
I mean, the pits at Riot Fest aren't your traditional pits.
No, they're jump
They're
pits
fun.
or they're hype pits. Jump pits, hype pits, circle pits, like you said a lot. No, but yeah, that would have been hilarious to see Carly Rae Jepsen there.
Yeah, it would.
I would have definitely went and saw her
In a heartbeat.
for sure.
Who was it this year?
I don't know. I can't remember. I know people were pushing for Alanis Morissette.
That would have been insane.
But honestly, Run for Short probably could have fit that bill
Maybe.
because she was kind of pop from the one song we heard.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I don't know what their random spice was.
There's random little spice. Just
Yeah, I think Ice Cube kind of fits because they're technically alternative hip hop punk
Yeah.
is like their three genres they hit. I don't know.
Coolio?
He's rap too though.
Yeah.
As I said, I can't really think of anybody else that's not. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Me not know.
Hey, if anybody out there knows, let us know.
Um,
I am curious.
did you get your garage cleaned up?
Got a lot of the stuff done, but it's not done yet.
Your dad's garage?
Yeah.
You said your dad's garage.
So what we're doing,
Hold on. How is it your dad's garage? I thought it was your garage.
wrong garage.
Oh, yeah, that one over there. Oh, yeah, I forgot to have a scene there.
Yeah.
The only reason I remember was someone sitting in there the one day.
Yeah.
I was like, and they were like just staring at us.
Uh-huh.
I was like, who was staring at us from over there?
Was it my mom?
I thought you said aunt or cousin or something like that.
Oh, mom's best friend.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
So
I thought it was funny because I was like, I didn't even notice like garage before that.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
So what we're doing is, since we have just the two houses that are next to each other,
Yeah.
all the tools and vehicle equipment and anything to work on cars is coming over to my garage. All the lawn and landscaping equipment is going to be his garage.
I see.
So it's nice, quick, simple. You know where everything is. Instead of having, 4 toolboxes in each garage, we could just have 8 in one.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what we're going for.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask you, has any other music fallen out of your playlist?
Not yet.
Wow.
Not yet. I haven't had a lot of, I haven't been listening to a lot of my playlist lately.
Oh, okay. That's probably why then.
Yeah.
Well, I was curious because I saw, the hardcore that we've been listening to, you added a lot of that to your playlist.
Yeah.
And I was curious to see how long that lasted in there.
Yeah, my playlist hasn't been on much because as I'm driving home from work, a lot of times, someone will call me, or if I'm not talking to somebody, then I'll listen to a little bit of it, or I've been listening to audiobooks as well.
What'd
So
you
it's
listen
kind of
to?
back and forth. What, my Audible?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still on the second book of that series.
Still?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you just finished the first one at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been back to it a lot. Broken Eye by Brent Weeks.
Bro, oh my gosh. I've finished probably 3 things in the last week.
Really?
Reading wise.
I mean, I listened to I'd Like to Play Alone, Please. And then I listened to
That was one of
some of the Monsters Know What They're Doing. I listened to a bit of that one to get that in there. I listened to a little bit of Magician Apprentice as well by Raymond E. Feist.
In September, I read The Archmage by R.A. Salvatore, Sea of Tranquility. Did The Indian in the Cupboard, throwback for me. That's a really short book. That's a kid's book from like the 70s or 80s. And then I'd Like to Play Alone was by Tom Segura. I did lectures on theology. This was Gnosticism. I did Buddhism earlier in the year, just for the cultural history.
Yeah. You listen to a lot of it while you're at work, though, don't you?
And then I'm currently reading The Early Middle Ages, which is also college lectures.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been learning a lot. Big brain plays. I can't talk. Still. One day I'll learn to use English properly so I can actually utilize that information someday.
I'm waiting for that day.
But I also like the fun of it. It's like a facade.
Yeah.
It's like I got some stuff going on back here, you know what I mean? But like I can't talk, so it's like they're like, Joel's a dum-dum. Every once in a while I'll hit you with some knowledge. You're like, whoa.
It's what I love about, not remembering shit most of the time.
Yeah, I love that too.
And then when I actually know something about something, people are thrown off. Because, like, you don't remember what you had for breakfast.
Yeah.
But
no
you
joke.
know how to do that? What is going on?
No joke. Yeah, at least you're not like really bad with your memory. Like,
Yeah.
the worst is
It's just little things. Like, if you're asking me, oh, what about this song that you heard, like, a week ago?
yeah.
I don't know. Most of the time. It's unfortunate,
Fucking
but
kills
I don't
me.
know. What about this song or this band? I don't know band names to save my life most of the time.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna start asking you. I'm like, oh yeah, what's the guitarist's name in this, by the way, again?
I have no clue.
I'm gonna start doing that to you a lot. Just fuck. With
That's fine because I barely remember your name. I've known you for a long time.
me. No, at least you don't have like short-term memory. That's where it
Yeah.
gets hard. Like our one buddy has short-term memory.
Yeah.
Owed me $90 one time.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so a week later, I was like, oh, I should probably remind him about that.
Yeah.
You never had a more awkward conversation. He goes, I borrowed $90 from you. I was like, God damn it. And then, you know what I mean? Like the Midwestern, and you're like,
You're
now
like-
I feel like I'm like making like, you're like,
Am I making this
I'm
up?
not making it up. I know I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I know I borrowed you. You run through the whole scenario. And he goes, I really borrowed money from you? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but the whole time you're like, I know he's right now like, is this real?
Yeah.
Or is he fucking with me?
Yeah.
And so like, it makes me feel bad. You know? I'm like, oh no. Being a Midwesterner is not.
And I'm just over here hoping that friend remembers that he's got 2 air mattresses sitting in my garage still.
And you haven't reminded him.
I've reminded him a couple times.
Excuse me. You haven't reminded him besides when you're with him at a party. That's the only 2 times I've ever heard you remind him.
Fair.
You go, hey, you haven't got those yet. It's no big deal. You be smoking a cigarette. Actually, both times I feel like you were smoking a cigarette.
Probably.
And because I think you said something at my luau.
Yeah.
Because he said he was going to drop the flamingos that he stole from my yard off there.
What?
Yeah. You know,
I missed this part.
yeah. Because he's like, I'm going to steal your flamingo. I'm like, you don't have the balls.
Did he steal it?
And he fucking stole it.
That's fantastic.
From that middle of that whole party. He stole the flamingos. I didn't see him. Nobody else caught him.
That's fantastic.
Walked around to his car and took off with him.
That's gold.
It is gold. I called him out on it, and I deserve it. See, this is what happens, Dan, if you're listening, about the scorpion. This is what happens when you call someone out, and then they act on the thing you called them out on, and you say, hey, good game.
With the scorpion over here.
That was a little more harsh, but my goodness. No, yeah, it is what it is. He actually listens to this, so he'll probably be like, oh, shit, like, I guess it's air mattresses. Just keep bringing it up.
Yeah, and then I hit him up Sunday, actually.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
See if he wanted to come play Magic.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's been talking about it. He was busy, but
Yeah. Speaking of memories,
yeah.
what are you doing Saturday?
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Coming up?
Yeah.
It's Posty, baby.
I remember. That's going to be an interesting one.
There are things that I'm not going to forget.
I'm just curious.
Plus, it's in my calendar.
Oh, so you cheated.
I've been getting a lot better with putting things in my calendar.
And you know what's funny?
Writing things down.
I don't want to take credit for that or anything, but I
Dude.
believe at the first, because at the beginning of the year, you were like complaining about how you can remember things. I was like, use your calendar. And you're like, fine, we're going to see how long this lasts. September, baby. And you're like, yeah, I've been using it a lot.
Hey, you know what the worst part about that is?
What?
You're not the only one.
Oh, really?
No.
That doesn't surprise me a bit. They're like, quit
even.
double booking me.
Dude, what do you mean you forgot you had to do that?
The amount of times, especially when we first met, you're like, I double booked. Actually, I triple booked. But I'm like, how the fuck do you triple book a day?
I got 3 things to do right now.
How? You're like, well, I was supposed to go to Toledo, and I was supposed to do this, and I was said I'd go out to Napoleon. I'm like, at the time, he was like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
I was like, dude. And then what you do? You go nap.
Yep.
And you wouldn't do any of the 3.
Yep.
And I'd be enraged.
Hey, you ever got overwhelmed where you just have too much to do and you're just like, not today?
No, you know what? I look back at that because I'm sure I did similar things. Not quite like that, but like in a different way. But like when you're coming out of that teenage, you know, like you're in the early 20s, you start doing things and you think you're fine. And then your friends start calling you out on shit.
And you realize you're not fine.
And you realize you're like, oh, this isn't cool. Oh,
yeah. Now, if I ever double book anything, because figuring out which one, if I double booked, figuring out which one to go to and which one not to is such a difficult thing to do.
you haven't.
Because you feel like you're choosing somebody over another, and that's not okay for me. So I cancel both and do nothing instead.
That's like a weird form of anxiety as well.
Yes, it is.
Coming from the guy that said he didn't understand anxiety quite, and turned out
I've learned that I do because mine's most of the time it's Aries. But
honestly, that's what normally it is. People are like, I don't get anxiety, and then like a couple years later, they're like, fuck, I have it.
yeah,
Did you realize it?
I think everybody's got a little bit,
Some form
somewhere.
Yeah,
But
yeah, absolutely.
mine's I don't want to pick one friend over another friend because that's not okay,
Yeah,
and I'm not that person. So if I end up doubling with people, it's like, nah, I'm done. Nope, neither of you. I'll call someone else.
you know what I want to set up?
Third option.
Third option. Wow. So then you did pick someone over someone else.
No, I haven't done that.
Next time you do that to me, if that if you ever do,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call your brother and just start cussing him out. I'm like, oh, you decided to hang out with you, huh? Thinks you're better than me?
That's fantastic.
You live with him.
That's good. I like that.
He's gonna be like, what? He won't even know what's going on. He's like, I'm at work. I'm like, lies. I drove past your house.
How'd you get my number? What is happening right now?
Got your brother's number?
Huh?
Got your brother's number?
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he have yours?
I believe so.
Okay. Hopefully he has it
Maybe.
saved.
No, I mean, I probably got it like way back when I was a
Yeah.
VTech, but I know I have him on Facebook and Facebook Messenger at worst.
Oh, yeah. So you can call him with that.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, because he does not answer calls he doesn't know.
Really?
Yeah. He's still that guy.
I don't either.
I do.
Not once. If I see a number that I don't know, ignore. I let them know too. My favorite is when you don't do anything and then they call and they hang up and then call immediately back again. I give it 2 seconds and I ignore them so they know. Leave a voicemail because I ain't answering.
Hey, shoot me a text. I'm done with this.
And then they'll leave me a voicemail and it'll be some computer reading to me. I'm like, good. Thank God I didn't answer that.
Really?
Yeah, happens constantly. I get a lot of spam.
Yeah. You don't like the
Stupid.
computers, though?
No.
I hate them.
I get overly aggressive. I feel bad too. Like when people call me and try to sell me shit, I'll be like, I'll be nice at first, but it's like their job to be kind of pushy.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, listen, I'm not interested. But then I'll ask, sometimes I'll be nice. I'll be like, are you making money by like the longer you talk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to make a sale? Because I'm not buying anything, but if you need to talk, I'll listen for a little bit.
We can have a
We
conversation.
can have a conversation.
We're going to stop talking about what you're trying to talk about.
Yeah.
We can have a conversation.
Sometimes I'll be real upfront and blunt like that. I'm like, listen, I'm not buying shit from you.
Yeah.
But if your job requires to talk to me longer to make a little more money,
I'll sit here.
fuck yeah. Fuck that corporation.
Yeah.
I got you. But if they're just
Has that
peddling-
ever happened?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Really?
several
That
times.
works?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it works.
Nice.
But then there was a few times where they were like, they're just pushy, just overly pushy.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, listen, don't ever call me again. Are you sure? All right, listen, fuck off. Don't
Yeah.
ever call me again. But like my wife is like way overly nice about it, so she'll get stressed out on the phone. She'll be like, no, thank you, no, thank you. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? The one time she was like, she told this person no like probably 10 times. She's like, listen, I really don't want anything. And then she's like listening for a while. She's like, listen, no, thank you, no, thank you. And then you could see her visibly getting stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me that fucking phone. It's like, fuck you, don't ever call again. Hang up. And she's
Yep.
like, it's like,
Yeah. I had so when I bought my car, I got the trial for Sirius.
yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
I called and I canceled that when time came up because I never used it anyway. So about a week and a half after that, I get a call at Sirius and I'm like,
Okay.
hello. And they're trying to sell me on it
course.
again. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why'd you cancel? I'm like, because I never used it.
Yeah.
I have no interest in using it again. So we're good here.
And that should be your note right
And
there.
we were that conversation was over.
Perfect. Yeah.
They hung up, no problem. About a month later, call me. We can get you for $4 a month, this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Any reason? Yeah, because I didn't use it before, and I told you guys this before.
Yeah. So write it down.
Yeah, so hung up. Month later, again, calls me. And I'm like, listen, I'm not interested. I'm good.
Yeah.
Kept going with the speech. And I'm like, okay, are you fucking listening to me or not?
Open those ears, boy.
Because I'm done
You're
right
about
now.
to get it. To be fair, I stopped answering like calls I don't know like probably a few years back. So I mean, this is a lot. It was younger Joel. Where it was a
Well,
little more
younger
hot,
me,
a little
I
hot-blooded.
never
You never answered?
any of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
actually,
mine, this was last month.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the next one.
I was a lot more hot blooded too when I would
Yeah.
like yell at people on there. But
Yeah.
after a while, I started doing the Jerry Seinfeld, off Seinfeld, where they answer and they're like, he's like, oh, listen, I'm a little busy right now. Can I get your phone number and I'll call you back there? And they're like, oh, sorry, we can't do that. And he goes, oh, I guess you probably don't want me calling you at your house. And they're like, yeah, exactly. And he goes, yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. And they're like, whatever. And they hang out. And he hangs out. I'm like, that is gold.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I feel bad because I'm like, it's just people working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just trying to make a living too.
Well, yeah, it's just, that's why I'm very cordial at first. But when you get 3 months in or a fourth call in,
Yeah, it gets
it's
annoying.
like, and you don't give me the chance to speak
Yeah.
right off the rip,
Yeah.
I'm done with you.
You know what the worst is out of that?
What?
Not the selling thing is bad, but when you finally go, like for example, we did CenturyLink for internet,
Yeah.
which I'm sure half of you probably won't even know because it's a small company, and they're fucking trash. They're fucking trash,
Are they?
dude. If you can't keep an appointment, I
That's a
start
problem.
losing. I start losing it, dude. So they sent us the router and now you had to wait for this person to show up to set it up for you. First time, I take the day off. No one shows up at all. No call, nothing. So I call them. Hey, no one showed up. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, we'll reschedule you. Okay, I'm not thrilled about this, but all right.
I took a day off of work.
Yeah. So my wife took a day off for that. No one shows up. No call. Nothing. So I call back again. At this point, they're like, all right, let's try it one more time. Because I'm like, if they don't show up, I'm going to be pissed. And they're like, we'll make sure, you know. But the problem was that you're calling someone in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And then they're calling someone here.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, this is the last time. No one shows up. I'm done.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, someone will show up. Someone will show up. So, all right. So I took the day off for it. No one showed up. So I call, because at this point I paid for a month, and I have 3 weeks of no service, not even hooked up because no one's showing up. So I called in. I said, I want my money back. I'm going to ship this fucking router back to you. I'm done. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. So I want my money back.
Yeah.
I'm going to ship this back to you, and we're going to be done here. Because I'm like, this is ridiculous. I paid for a month, and you've led me on for about 3 weeks.
Yeah. And I've got nothing.
Nothing. Zero out of it. And I was so infuriated. I was like shaking. And then a month goes by, and we get a late notice in the mail. So I called. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna try to be nice to you, but I'm gonna let you know I am not happy.
Yeah.
So if it's, you know, I never talked to this person. They were really nice about it. They're like, what's happening? And I'm like, you're saying I have a late thing right now, where I canceled because you guys didn't show up for 3.5 weeks. I sent back your router already, and you guys refunded me the first time. So I don't know what this payment is. You know, this is clearly you guys never took it off, basically. Yeah. And they're like, so they look, and it's in the system. For some reason, they just never stopped the billing or something. So they took care of it there. But I was like, that is probably the worst experience with a company I've ever had in my life. Like, it was awful.
I mean, luckily you got your stuff back.
I refuse to ever work with them again.
Yeah.
Ever. I'll live in the city till I die because it's a country thing around here. It's like, because a lot of people don't have internet out there.
Yeah.
So it's like you're stuck with it.
That is the downfall of living in the country.
Getting feisty just thinking about it, guys.
It's the downfall of living where I live, buddy.
Who are you dealing with?
Amplex.
Better.
Yes.
To a point, I'm sure.
To a point. I've only had one big issue with them.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty large issue.
What's the issue?
They put my satellite dish on my tree below the cornfield.
What?
So when the corn grew, I had no internet. They trimmed my tree up the first time, so when they come out to fix it, they realize they have to go up the tree, and they told me they don't trim trees.
I would have been pissed.
So then I had to trim the tree when I got home, call them back. They came out 3 days later.
I would have lost it.
I was losing it.
Like, you go get your post monitor and put a stake in my yard like everybody else with a satellite that you guys do.
Well, the worst part is it got worse, and it was because this was we finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Moment. It was first, reset everything. Well, that didn't work. Okay, well, it might be this wire.
Yeah.
Oh, how about you drive to our location to pick up the wire?
Yeah. How about this? You take off this month's pay, and
we worked it out.
That's good.
It worked out okay.
That's good.
But this wasn't at first at all.
Yeah.
It was very much, okay, so then do that. Still doesn't work. Okay, we'll have a technician come out in 4 days to figure it out. Okay, comes out, finds that out. Won't trim the tree up.
Of course.
So now it's, okay, 4 more days. Comes out, goes to do that. My dad comes out. He's like, why don't you guys just put it up on, because he's got a pole on the side of his house. And they're like, well, that'll be a charge of however much. And my dad's like, yeah, you tell him that, you'll lose a customer.
Bingo. It's hard, too, because, like, you know the guy that's bringing it out there. You know, I'm assuming they're all different people that came out.
I don't know. I wasn't home. No. My mom, she wasn't working at the time.
Yeah.
So she was able to come over and deal with them for me.
What makes it hard, though, is like you have somebody that's like the first guy, for example. He's like, hey, fuck it, I'll put on the tree for you. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, sweet, do it.
Yeah.
So put it on the tree. Second guy comes out, he goes, "That's against our rules."
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, how am I mad at this guy? He's just following his rules of his job.
Yeah.
So this makes it, then you start getting complicated.
Well, it also gets worse because the first guy that came out knew our buddy who worked for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. He could have been just being cool,
Exactly.
casual.
And he was
Because
like, yeah. But still doesn't make much sense putting it on a tree.
no, that makes no sense to me.
0 sense whatsoever.
I have no idea why they didn't.
Put it on the house. Put it in a pole in the backyard.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't have a giant ass yard.
Or a giant ass pole that's already sitting in the backyard.
Yeah, no joke. that makes no sense. But it's bad with internet companies. That's where I start getting pissed off because it's bad. Because one of our buddies worked at an internet company, and he was having internet problems the other day.
Yeah.
And so he wrote down all the stuff that he did for it because he knew they were going to ask him that.
Yeah.
And so they still tried to make him do the old, "I'll power off your router and power back on," which is my favorite. It's probably my favorite. Guys, we're fucking on to you. We're on to you.
Yeah.
And they go, see, you're good. You're all good. And then you turn it off, and then an hour later it starts happening again.
Yep.
You're like, oh my God, I'm going to call again. I gotta call again. I gotta wait for an hour in their stupid ass queue. And that's where I start losing patience.
Yep.
And I'm like, listen.
And the worst part is that's the first thing you do.
Yeah,
That is literally, I don't even call you before I do that.
Yeah, I've become very blunt with that, like not in a jerk way, but like,
Yeah.
no, I've already done this. I'm not doing it again. So
Yeah.
what's the next step? Like I did it before I called you because I knew you guys were going to ask me that. And I'm not doing oh, hey, it's good now. Right after I power it back on. And then an hour later, it's back down. And they go, okay. And then they move on.
Yeah.
We do a next step. But I did have one guy. He's like, listen, that's just part of our protocol. So I need you to do that while I'm like looking at it or whatever.
At that point, it's fair.
I'm like, yeah, okay.
At that point,
I'm not mad about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, hey, bro, listen, I'm at my job. And I'm like, listen, I've worked customer service too. That's what also makes it hard because customer service, horrible, so bad. 'Cause-
Oh, my customer service experience has been fun.
oh, yeah. Mine wasn't when I was working in the produce department and you accidentally tell somebody like 5 cents off of what the sale was and they come in and they rip you a new one over bell peppers. Have you ever thought about you would get yelled at in your life over bell peppers? 5 cents off?
No.
Dude, they called the manager on me. The manager wasn't there, so they had to they refused to leave because they went and apparently showed they lived right down the road too. I knew these people, like I knew of them, I should say.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly where they live, and they came in yelling because they like called me out. And I was like, they're like, produce come out to the floor. I was like, what the hell? So I come out and someone in the deli, he had given it to them, and then he was like, I called you guys, and you said they were this, and I like looked over the sign because they were on sale, and I didn't realize it. Or whatever, and so it was like 5 cents off for each. Like, how many fucking bell peppers do you need that it's that big of a deal? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get pension pennies. I mean,
So wait,
you know
were they
were like
they were told that it was 5 cents cheaper than it is?
No, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they were pissed off that 5 cents. So they're like, we want to speak to your manager.
I mean, I suppose if you're getting 20 of them and it's going to be $1.
Yeah, they did.
That could be a
they
problem.
got like five. I think it was 6, maybe. It was 6.
30 cents.
Yeah, understandable, but still, like you don't have to yell at somebody
Yeah.
about it. Be like, hey man, listen, I came down here for this price. Let me talk to your manager. They didn't handle it.
Okay.
Like that. They reamed my ass, and then said, "Where's your manager?" And I just sat there through this whole thing like, I'm really sorry, I messed up. It's all on me, man. My bad.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. And then they're like, "Where's the fucking manager?" I was like, "I'll call them down." So I called the manager. Manager's not there. Shit. Head of the store. Listen, I have people here pissed off because I told them this number and it was 5 cents more. And she's like, I'll be honest. And she came down, gave them their discount, and she's like I thought I was going to yell that then because I'm like, you're calling the head of the store down?
Yeah.
And she's like, just check next time. She's like, just play it safe, even if it takes a little longer on your phone, like on the phone. I was like, all right. And then she's like, people. And then like walked away. But I saw people, my friend worked in the office. And I saw customers make her cry over a bag of apples, like bawling, like because they were reaming her out. So I get customer service is terrible. Like, you know what I mean?
worked at Subway. I didn't have any of these problems.
Yeah, you were probably over there busy eating all the food too, weren't you?
No. I can't say I didn't eat the food.
Chuck, I'm pretty sure you're the one that told me you got in trouble for free subs.
Yes, that happened.
We all did it. I mean, we all did it.
It was bad.
Some discounts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's all it really was. I mean, inventory was clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just I applied way too many discounts to certain things, and
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we had the same thing happen at the grocery store when you drop something that gets cracked open.
Yeah.
They basically were like, let you buy it for a cheaper price.
Yeah.
But then people were getting fired for that. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're probably getting fired because they were doing it on purpose at certain times. Never.
Never, dude. We were just all high school kids. No, high school kids wouldn't do that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. We've all done some dumb things.
Yeah. Especially when
But
you're
my
kids.
people were always great. Saw a cop that pulled me over, told me the next time he sees me, he's taking my car. Next week he walks in
You're like,
to get a sandwich.
You're like, shit.
And I'm like, yeah, please don't take my car.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's funny, though. That's funny.
He started laughing. He enjoyed it.
Yeah. See, that's different. But,
Yeah.
like, I feel like Subway, the worst you're going to get is if you mess someone's order up. Like, imagine now, for example, you have the digital orders that come in where, like me, where I ordered it and then I went and picked it up and then it's all, none of my toppings are on except it's just filled with pickles.
Yeah.
It's just pickles, like extra pickles. Whoever orders extra pickles on their sub but nothing else, you're sick.
You're sick. I agree.
I'm calling you out.
I mean, I agree.
I like pickles, so you can only imagine what he thinks about you.
I fully agree.
Dude, I was like, I opened it up. I was like, what the fuck? They're like this thick all the way across, dude. It was like as much, you know how you have the...
Was it a foot long?
Yeah, and it was like,
Oh
you know
my
how that, you know
goodness.
how you have the meat, and that's like the good portion, right? And it was like equal amount of pickles across the whole thing. I was like, I'm not eating this. Like, there's not a chance.
So wait, it was meat and pickles?
Meat, pickles, cheese. That was it.
It's one way to get your money's worth, though.
See, that would have been funny for you. Like, you open that because you hate pickles. There's no getting
I
around
didn't.
that.
No, there's none. That's going back to the store.
But you know what happened? This happened twice to me within a month.
Oh, goodness.
Same exact thing. So I'm like, the sick person is ordering pickle subs all the time, apparently.
Or only when you do.
That or these kids are messing with me at Subway. And I'm about to go in there and freak out.
That's funny.
I actually got a little moody on that one because I like called they're closed. So apparently
Okay.
they closed right after. So I was like, okay. So I called the other Subway that's legitimately right down the road from them.
Same owner?
Same owner. Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Call them. There's nothing we can do for you. That store is that store.
That makes sense.
I was like, okay. When are they, I have a sub here that I want to take back right now. And they're like, okay, well, you can bring it over here and we'll redo it for you. But I was like, okay, so I can't get my money back for this sub. And they're like, no, because that store's closed. So I'm like, you're going to make me drive all the way across town to get this remade. And they're like, yeah. But yeah, like when it comes
That's the problem with ordering Subway like that.
yeah.
When the drive-thru started going in,
I actually asked them about it, and they said because they just line them up on the counter.
yeah,
So when they grab them,
they just go.
one. Yeah,
yeah,
and you have kids that work there too. I'm like, I
Yeah.
said, I was a kid at once too. Working customer service, just like get them
yeah.
out, get them.
When the drive-thru started going in, that was as I was gone. I left.
there's been a drive through all my life in Napoleon.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But as the drive-thrus were going in over in my areas where I was growing up, I was on my way out of there going to start other adventures.
yeah.
And I hated drive-thrus at Subway.
I remember you complained. It's not fresh, right, or something. You said
It's not made in front of you, which is the whole design of the store.
that was your issue with it.
100%. Still is.
It's a fast food sub place, bud.
I know.
Who gives a shit? God damn
It's like, just get out and walk in. It's not hard.
it. It is hard. I'm in a hurry, bro. I ain't got time. Imagine this. So, for example, I'll give a run you to this. My parents, okay?
Yeah.
You got 3 little shits that are yours.
Yeah.
And you got 2 adopted kids that barely speak English.
Yeah.
Now you get them all to pile out of the car
All right, that's fair.
and come into the store.
All right, you got me in a box here.
Yeah.
You win. I don't like this
I mean,
spot.
you can imagine me. I was probably a little asshole.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I know. I guarantee it.
But
You and your brother? My goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And then, you got 4 of them, 4 other ones.
Yeah.
So give mom a run for her money. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Fuck going in. Drive through all day.
With a family that size, that's outrageous pricing to eat out, too.
It is. It wasn't probably, I mean, I was actually talking about this the other day. You know how like you say your dad complains about the prices and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of wondering if this is just something that happens with age, because it always is going to go up
Yeah.
until we have like a really bad economical crash probably.
Right.
But it's always going to go up. So it's like I'm starting to notice people around me that are like, for example, Chipotle is way too expensive. And I'm like, what are you ordering there? It's like $7. Like if you go to Wendy's, you're paying like $9 for a combo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't understand this. And then you like start wondering. You're like, okay, well, when I first started eating Chipotle, it was like $6.50 or something, probably, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like $8-9 if you're getting steak. So it's got that little increases.
Yep. I mean,
you're like,
Subway's like what, $7.50 now?
I'm like, I wonder if it's just something that happens to you over age, and you start getting, and then like your kids are like, you're a cheap bastard,
yeah.
and you're like, well, I remember when cheeseburgers were 25 cents.
Right. I remember when footlongs were $5.
Dude, let me tell you a story about my uncle.
What?
My uncle Brad.
All right.
We were kids, and they had dime cheeseburgers. For a dime, you had to order 10 of them, though. This is some kind of local special.
Fucking sold.
Yeah, so he took us there, and we all got 10 cheeseburgers apiece.
Peace.
And I'm like 10 years old, bro. He's like, you're going to eat them all. Eat them all. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Does he not understand that he could have just spent $2 and got 20?
Well, they had that really old school raising where like my grandma would make. So like I'd go over there after dinner with my dad. And
You're eating.
She's cooking another meal.
Oh, yeah, you're eating.
She's like, what'd you have? And I'm like, we just had lasagna. She's like, how's mac and cheese sound?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm really full. She's like, I'll make you some mac and cheese. It's no big deal. And then she's boiling hot dogs too.
Oh, yeah. And you're having a whole another meal.
Yeah, you're having a whole nother meal. So, and then like I'd watch my uncles and they like fill their plate. Like it's a heaping plate and they'd eat that and then go for size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's something that
You going to tell her no?
yeah, it's something I stopped doing to my kids with the eat everything on your plate. When you're done, you're done. You know what I mean? But you're not getting more later. Yeah. Because that's part of the problem. I think. You start realizing you're like, I'm a little chubby. And I had a lot.
I had the same rules.
Too. Yeah.
I mean, I remember the one time that sticks out in my mind. We're having hot dogs and French fries.
Yeah.
And I walk up, I grab like five hot dogs.
Yeah.
I'm growing, boy, I'm hungry. And
the classic kid mistake.
Eyes are way bigger than my stomach. I get 2.5 hot dogs in, I'm stuffed. I'm done.
Dad's like, I guess he's in the rest of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the worst part is I get the rest of that third one down, and it comes back out.
Now he's pissed off.
100%. And the only reason I was allowed to get up at that point was because Mama stepped in.
Yeah, she's like, nah.
Otherwise, I was going to sit there the rest of the night.
Oh, yeah. I get stubborn.
He would have never made me eat it then, but I would have been sitting there until bedtime.
Yeah, see, that would happen. But you know what my dad would do? He would wrap it and then make me eat it for breakfast.
Really?
And he'd wake me up before I go to work to make sure I'd eat it for breakthest. But it didn't really happen a whole lot.
I never got that.
See,
they never turned into that.
We got smarter by that point, though.
Yeah.
Like by the time I was like an early, before I was a teenager, but like we would just like roll into a napkin when nobody was looking, fold it, or like try feeding it to the dogs.
Yeah.
Though we got caught a few times with that because when you start getting, you're like, oh, here's canned peas. And the dog's like, what the fuck are you doing to me?
I ain't eating that shit.
But no, my uncle, he's always like that with food, so it always cracked me up. But like, I remember we were doing drywall at his house.
Yeah.
And he ordered an extra large pizza, and he's like, "We're eating this whole pizza before we go back to work." And I was like, "Dude, I just ate." He's like, "We're eating the whole fucking thing, Joel, whole fucking thing." I was like, "All right." So we eat it, and you're feeling good when you're sitting down. The second
As soon as you stand up, it's like,
you're
oh
God,
that was a mistake.
A bad move. Yeah, my brother in a food coma with a sawzall, just cutting wavy. Dude, he did. He was like cutting above a doorway, and it had to be flush. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
It's like,
oh, that's funny.
He's like so pissed off.
That's because he's trying to stand up, and he's just
we're like, dude, we're trying not to fall asleep while we're in the middle of working with power tools. It's not good.
This is why you don't eat that much. I got to get better at that still.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it sticks with you, even though because like the urine eat everything, you don't really think it does.
Yeah.
But then if you really start analyzing your like eating habits, like for example, you get Subway, you're eating a foot long, you get to that end piece, you got that much left. Let's say, okay,
yeah,
little less than a 6-inch, and you're like, oh man, I'm getting pretty full. But I don't want to waste this. So you eat it, and then you're like over full.
Yeah. You know what's bad is, so I'm at home yesterday, and I got the frozen burritos that I like to make and eat. And I make, 4 of them real quick.
Mm-hmm. The only time they're bad is when they get like a little hard.
Yeah.
It's the only time.
Yeah. But I make the 4 of them. I got the melted cheese all over.
Microwave?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's classic.
And I do it for 4 minutes with the cheese on it the whole time. So the cheese hardens around the edge. It's wonderful. So I get through 2 of them. And I'm done. Right? And I felt weird throwing them away.
Yeah, like hurt.
I felt completely. I felt like I was hurting myself.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I try my best not to pass that on.
Yeah.
Because, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm scraping it in the trash can, like feeling ashamed of myself. Mm-hmm. I had to eat the rest of the cheese off first, though.
You're like, I don't want to waste the cheese at least.
I can't waste the cheese.
Can't waste the cheese at least. You want to hear something messed up about this frozen burritos?
What?
I ate them with ketchup and mustard.
What?
For the longest time. And didn't realize it was weird until people started calling me out when I actually, started working. Try it, bro. It's not as bad as you think. It's really not. But yeah, I
don't know how I feel about this.
Cassie's like, why are you putting ketchup and mustard on that? I was like, oh, that's really good like this. And she's just staring at me. She's like, that's disgusting. Then my cousin Mike is when I lived in BG. And he was like, dude, that's gross. So I started asking people at work. And they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
That's what I'm saying right now.
It's really good, though. It's not bad.
Yeah, okay. I didn't work with you at this point.
You calmed down hydraulic oil.
Hey, that's fine.
Son of a bitch.
Better than ketchup and mustard on a burrito, all right? But I'm going to wrap this up.
Yeah. We've been ranting for long enough.
Yeah, we have got on tangents about food.
I hope you guys enjoyed our rantings. Customer service, the goods and bad parts of it. The don't sell things to us.
Yeah, don't sell anything to us.
Don't sell anything to us.
It's a bad idea. And if you do, make sure you're listening when I'm speaking.
Chuck will yell at you.
I will. I'm not afraid of it.
I just want to answer you.
You know what, Joel? Shut up.
I'm going to start calling you, just trying to sell you stuff.
I'll buy it off of you.
You know what's sad? You probably would. You're like, I don't really know if I need it. I'm like, dude, I need to get rid of this. And you're like, all right.
How much you thinking?
Something ridiculous. But yeah, let's do this. I'm done.
Alrighty.
I'm done talking to you.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. We still got reactions.
Alrighty, y'all. Well, that's it for this episode of the Unadulterated Amateurs Podcast. He's been Joel Norton.
This is the part where Chuck yells.
I've been Chuck Beeson. And y'all, peace out.